Right, hello again, Dread Mechanic here, for part 4 of my Armored Core build stream, Armored Core Mark II build stream. And in this session we have been building more ridiculous contraptions loosely based on some of these reference pictures. The legs are quite different from the design in the pictures, but that's because I want to do something a bit different. And we have set it up with some walk controls so it can walk forwards and backwards. We've set it up with some basic turning controls at the minute, which still need a little bit of tweaking, which are controlled by these gyros on rotors. And in the last session we were setting up all of the subgrid controls to make the arms and legs and all of these ridiculous subgrid thrusters to make them do stuff depending on what thruster output is happening. So if we jump into the cockpit, we take down those for now. Yeah, so forward does that, reverse does that, up does that, down does that, left does that, right does that. And as you can see, all of these subgrid thrusters on the back do stuff depending on what directions I'm pressing. And my next thing on my to-do list is to do the same with all of these subgrid thrusters that I've built into the legs, because I want to make this thing completely ridiculous. Because the reference pictures I'm working on, they've all got like thrusters and things in the legs, but they're all tucked away in places that really aren't practical. Whereas if I mount them on the side of the legs like this, they shouldn't dust off many things, hopefully. But I laid all the groundwork and built all these things, but did I name all the thrusters? No, I didn't get around to naming the thrusters. But I've only named that first set, haven't I? Yep. Yeah, so we've got lots of thrusters to name to make things easier. We've got lots of controllers and timers to set up, because I need to do I need to do one set for each individual set of thrusters, because I want them to all be able to act independently. Which means doing things the long, boring way of setting them all up independently. So, leg thruster FL0, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, so this one is going to be leg thruster FR01. Because I like to have a bit of uniform design with stuff. So all the stuff on the outside of the leg gets to be 1, 2 and 3, and everything on the inside of each leg gets to be 4, 5 and 6. This will make things a bit easier later on. when we have to do all of our ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous timer setups. Because each one of these subgrid thrusters has its own. Each one has 2 event controllers connected to it. You can see there's one in there, and the other one for that is tucked in under there. So it's got one event controller which is triggered by a light. This light, turning it off and on moves the rotor, and turning off and on the other light activates the thruster. So each subgrid thruster has 2 lights that control its movement and its output. So it ends up being that the timer sequences for all of the directional movement mostly ends up being a sequence of lights flicking on and off, which ends up essentially just being a binary system, kind of. And it makes things a hell of a lot easier than trying to remember what hinges what, and what rotors what, and what direction everything's facing. All you've got to think about is turning lights on and off. Obviously, that kind of system isn't always going to be practical, particularly in a smaller mech, but this one is quite big and has lots and lots of spare room inside it, so I'm going wild with timers and event controllers and just programming in all kinds of mad nonsense because I can. And I'm on a bit of a mission at the moment to try and push vanilla automation as far as I can, because there wasn't an awful lot you couldn't do before with just the timers. It's just that it was very, very, very long-winded, and some things were very, 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 very complicated to try and achieve. Now that we've got these beautiful event controllers, we can do so many different kinds of automation. And I really wish it had a few more features. There's a few more functions that I want the event controller to have. I want it to be able to look at wheel output for a start, as well as thruster output. That'd be really nice. And I'd really, really like like I said yesterday in one of my streams, I'd really, really like a block that works halfway between the broadcast relay and an emotion controller, in that it can send text messages to display screens. I would love something like that, because that in conjunction, something like that in conjunction with a bunch of event controllers, you could essentially almost create like LCD scripts almost, or at least interactive displays that are more than just some text. You could have text that changes on a screen. Because that's the biggest problem with vanilla designs and text panels, is raw text by itself is not very versatile. And if you want lots of different kinds of information to be displayed, you need like 20 different screens, all with different words on them that you turn on and off, and it's just not the same. Right, so we did all of this. So that's the rotor light. That's the thruster light. That's the rotor light. Yeah, right. So that should be everything named now. Yeah. Right, more complicated bollocks. Start down here. In fact, why the hell am I doing like that? Just do it like this. In spectator mode, see better. Right, so leg thruster FL0. There we go. Right. Oh, damn. I know what I forgot to do. I haven't named any of the automation blocks. Right. So. Yeah, we need to name all these controllers. Controller. Jet. No, not jet. Leg. Thruster. Rotor. FL01. That'll control the angle of that rotor. The FR01. That can be RR for rear right. That can be RL for rear left. Then the controller underneath will be just the leg thruster. FL. Paste. FR. Focus settings. Paste. Rear right. And that one could be rear left. Cool. Right. Hey, and then we need to do the thruster output, because it's a subgrid. We need to activate this thing manually by increasing the override. And when you select the increase thrust override action in a toolbar, it increases that thrust override by 5% of that thruster's total output. It doesn't matter how high the output is, it seems, it'll always be 5%. And 5% divided by 100 means you need to do that action 20 times to get from 0 to 100. There are only 10 slots in a timer, so you need 2 timers. Because if you stick increased thrust override on each slot in one timer, it will only get you to 50%. Which is a pain in the ass. So, that will be leg thruster FL01 on 01. Paste, that can be 02. This one can be off because you have to decrease the thrust override again eventually. That could be number 2. Those 2 will turn it on, those 2 will turn it off. Groovy. Settings. All. That gets to be FR. Copy. 2. first. That gets to be rear right. One and two. That gets to be rear left. And two. And then we can copy this one. Copy all. Alright, that's those two. Only 4 more to go. Right, copy settings, copy all, copy settings, paste. Number 2, hello tiny cat. I'm back for more attention. Front right. Right, now that should be all the blocks we need to make this bloody thing work. Try this again. Right, so where were we? We were here. So it's leg thruster FL01. So we've got our rotor controller. That is going to be controlled by the leg thruster light. So rotor. Oh yeah. FL01. Yeah, so we'll just use that light and turn that on, and that'll turn the whole thing on. So, that light is going to trigger leg thrust rotor FL01. So that is simply going to reverse these two rotors. So now when we turn that light on and off, those rotors do that. I've designed them in a way they've got a light on each one, but they don't actually need to have that because they're going to work in unison. So, what we can also do to make that match up is on the thruster one, at the end we will have the leg thrust light FL01. Have that turn on and off as well, just so both sides are symmetrical. So, turn the lights down a bit. See those lights glowing through the dashboard. Leg thruster light FL01. So, that rotor light. Turning off the wrong thing. What have I done? leg thruster, rotor, controller. Oh, I'm an idiot, that's why. Picked the wrong light. Leg, light, thrust, FL. Yeah, picked the wrong one, so I'm dumbass. That one. There we go. Right. So now, when I turn that light on and off, there you go. Turns them on and off together. Cool. So, the thruster controller, L01. So for this, we need that leg thruster to be turned on and off by leg thruster L01 A light. There we go. So when that turns on and off, leg thrust light FL01. I'll actually change it so the first thing it does is turn that one on and off as well. And then it will be FL01 on, off, trigger, on, opposite trigger. So now we need to set those controls up, and that's long and boring. So, leg, thruster, FL01. FL. Oh god, that's the way I've named them, they're not all neat and organised. Damn. Right, so what we need to do for the on function is to increase the thrust override on all 6 of these 20 times each. I could do it as a group, but I don't like using groups because if something happens and you delete that group or change that group, it can mess stuff up, and you have multiple grids connected together that have groups called the same thing, and you try and activate stuff, it will activate all of those things in that same group across all of those different grids. Like if you had a group that was, say, called legs, and you use that legs group to turn on and off your walk function, if you had multiple grids attached together that also use things called legs, as soon as you trigger that legs group on any grid, they all just start doing stuff. Whereas if you select the individual block, it'll only activate that. It's not looking for a collective group name to activate. So I do things the long and boring slow way because it creates less smeg-ups further down the line. And also if you accidentally delete a block and don't realise, you'll come to find out later on when there's a big white blank space in your programming. Increase. So this stream is probably going to end up being mostly me clicking on thrusters, but it'll be worth it in the end. So yeah, that's all 10 pages. So then we want to turn on the next block and trigger it, and then turn off this block. Leg thrust FL0. Let's do it all again. Ooh, wrong one. And back to that. Yeah, actually, that seems to be a slightly more efficient way of doing it. Right. Ugh. Oh. Five, and then finally the last thruster for this particular jetpack's on function. 10, and then we want to turn off that block. So now when we trigger that, it turns all the thrusters on. And it turns itself and the next block off. So now we need to do the same for the off function. Leg thruster FL0. We just need to decrease all of these thrusters all over again. Again, this is the long, boring way of doing it, but it really does mean you have greater control over your programming. Because if you need to rename a group later on, or anything like that, it can become an issue. Decrease, 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 I do wish we could have decrease in like larger increments by like 5, 10, 20, 1%. Something like a bit more controls. Perhaps 3. So 4, 4, 4. Anyone in chat would like to drop in and say hello, just to make things a hell of a lot less more boring. Right, so that is all of them for that one. So that is FL1 off, so we want to turn on and trigger the next one cycle, and we want to turn this block off. So if I activate that, it takes it down to half power, as you can see. So it's only on half power. So we need to do the second one. Leg, thrust, FLs. I'm curious just how many subgrid thrusters we can get away with building up to this thing. So we've got two big ones on the back. We've got two little ones on the back as well. So that's forward, backward, left and right. Curious if I might be able to squeeze any more of these little VTOL-ish kind of things into the actual base section, like the waist section of the mech. For decrease, decrease, decrease. God, I wish you could select multiple blocks at the same time. So that's all of them. That is the last set of these all. This one, there we go, right, that can now turn off. So if we trigger that, it turns that off. Right, so turn that on, trigger it, full power, and it turns everything off. Turn that on, trigger it, turns everything off, turns itself off. Groovy. So those are the two halves of this, which we've already set up. So that means if I turn this light on and off, that turns on my thrusters. And that light, where is it, that one, I can make it turn. I'm turning for thruster. That one. Yeah. Groovy. That's one down, 3 to go. Right. Leg, thrust, FR0. Rotor. Leg, thruster, rotor. FR01. Light. Leg, thruster, FR01. Reverse, reverse, reverse. Oh yeah, I need to turn back and light on. Turn that light on and off. Now does that. the thruster one, which again block switched on and off. It is leg, thruster, FR01, A, light. Off. On, off. Trigger. Off. On. Trigger. Right. Right, boring bit again. So, leg, thruster, FR0. Oh god, I need to do this so many times. Whatever. Right, so we are doing the FR01 off, so we need to decrease all of these. Now, I have tried doing this with a system that just decreases each thruster once and then triggers itself, so it goes around in a repeating cycle. But I've noticed that causes some issues and conflict when you've got multiple sets of different timers all triggering and repeating in each themselves and getting in each other's way, controlling the same blocks, so I do it this way instead. It creates less conflicts. This way it's just two timers. One that triggers the other, they run through their cycle and they both turn themselves off. And they do all that in a split second. So it seems, from all of the testing I've done, to create less conflict with multiple controllers that are all triggering the same blocks, if you know what I mean. Basically, like I said before, it's boring and long-winded doing it this way, but it means you end up with better results. And it also makes it easier to diagnose problems, because when you effect something up, you can actually find it a lot easier than assuming you've got everything right because you've accidentally selected the wrong block into a group somewhere. And 10, and then 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boring way of doing this, but like I said, it does make everything better at the end. So that's that. Then we want to turn on, oh, not that one, we're doing the off cycle first. So we want to turn on the next part, trigger it, and turn off this block. So now, if we trigger that, on, oh, the thrusters are not switched on, yes they are. What have I fucked up? So roll, take that off, take that off, take that off. And then do. Oh, it's because I've done the decrease one, obviously I'm not going to do anything. Idiots. So I'll select, yeah, you know, smeg it, don't matter. We'll test it in a minute, I'm sure it works. Leg, thruster, FR, right. So, do this a bunch of times. If I wasn't doing this on stream, I'd probably be listening to a podcast or something, but if I listen to a podcast on stream, I'll just sit here silently listening to that, which would be even more boring. But again, it's totally worth all of the screwing around in the end. Yeah, that's page 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One, two. Right, nearly at the end of this. There we go, and that's that, and then that's that, and then that turns that one off. Right, so it won't do anything, we won't be able to see it. Turn that on, trigger now, turns itself off, turns the next block off, so yeah, that seems to be working. Oh yay, my neighbours are playing with a power drill, fantastic. Hope anybody watching can't hear that horrible noise. Really? FR. Right, so we are doing increase now, so... Cheers for that, mate. That noise is awesome. My cat is looking as irritated by it as I am. Yep, you keep flicking that button, mate. Dude, seriously. Right, so we have nearly set up this second set of vanilla subgrid thruster controls. Because if you don't want to have to use scripts, you have to do everything the long way. And I could easily make all of this stuff work with scripts. There are plenty of fantastic VTOL scripts and subgrid thruster scripts. But I want to make this work vanilla. I like the engineering challenge. It's not as fun for me if I just type a few commands into a script and then presto, it all works. It kind of feels like cheating to me. I mean, I don't mean that really. Like, I have anything against control scripts. They are really cool feats of programming and engineering. I'm just a bit of a nerd for the mechanical side of things. And I guess I'm still just programming in my own long-winded way instead. Right, that's the end of that. So, 0, 1, on, 1, 2 turns on and triggers, and we turn off this block. So if we trigger that, it gets us up to half power, as you can see. do the next block. Leg, thruster, FR, 0. So increase all of that thrust override again. So what's that now? I've got 2 big jetpacks, 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Right, so far there are 12 subgrid thrusters set up on this thing. Each with its own painstakingly crafted vanilla control system, and I'm probably still going to put more on it. I was thinking of also trying to add some kind of wings to this thing. Because in the back of my head, I've been wanting to, like, codename it Pegasus or something like that. Because it's a big 4-legged thing. The armoured core things tend to have wingy-looking weapon packs. You might want to try and give it some more subgrid type wing things. I also need to decide what I want to make for the shoulder mounted weapons. But there isn't a great deal of options. We've only really got railgun, assault cannons, small grid, and I think trying to add one of the artillery cannons through some subgrid shenanigans might be a bit much. I don't think this build is big enough to necessitate one of them, or even have the space for it. Alright, that's the end of that one. So we're on 0, 2, so we turn off 0, 2. That gets us up to full power, turns itself off. So we turn that one off, trigger it, it turns the thruster off. Turns itself off, turns the second half off. Turn that one back on, trigger it, turns itself off, turns that one off, puts everything up to full power. Groovy. So we've set up that already, so that means that this light right here turns on and off. That thruster and that light here turns on and off the movement. Right, so that's 2 of them set up. Yeah, and then I need to work out positions and angles, because these are just some default angles at the moment. They're not set in stone, they're just something I was roughly working with. Hey, so the next one is this one, rotor, leg, thruster, RR01. So we've got that. Leg, thruster, RR01A. No, not that one. Leg, thruster, rotor, RR01A light. That's the one. Leg thrust RR0. Reverse, 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 and reverse. And we'll turn that light on and off. So now when we hit that light, there we go. Turning the right thing on and off. What have I done there? Oh, once again I picked the wrong damn light. Leg, thrust, light, dom, dom, dom. RR01. That's one. There you go. And then the thruster controller, lock switch on and off. Leg, thruster RR01A light. Leg 01 got that light on and off. Then we've got that block. Oops, that one. On, off, trigger, off, on. Trigger. And the third time we had to do this boring crap, I should have just used. I know, because large thrusters would have been too big, really. So, round 3, doing this 60 times. No, it's 120 times, because I have to do it 6. No, it's not, it's 240 times, that's even more boring to think about. So it's 60 for each block. There's 4 blocks. Two, 3. I wish there was a hotkey for selecting things from this menu. I've just hit endlessly tapping hotkeys. Like a computer hacker from the 90s. Or like Hackerman from Kung Fury. If anyone's seen that film. If anyone hasn't seen Kung Fury, go and watch it right now. Or actually, go and watch it after this stream. It's on YouTube, it's free, and it's only half an hour long, and it is one of the greatest and stupidest homages to everything cheesy and 80s, and all the things that I love. And it even has a soundtrack and cameo from a very, very, very amazing musician. Right, that's all there. Right, so do page 10 on, trigger off. We hit that. Oh, you fucking idiot. I've done all that with the wrong bloody thrusters. Typed in the wrong thing. Idiot. I'll do all that again. attention. I was too busy rambling about Kung Fury. You may as well go and watch it. It's going to take about that long to redo this. God damn it. Right, leg thrust. R0 1. Did I honestly type FR? Oh yeah, I've done the wrong thing for all of them. Right, start again. Oh. That sounds irritating. Ugh, fool. Right, try again. RR01 on. Leg thruster RR0. Ugh, right. Ugh. It'll be worth it when it's done, because it'll be super cool and super precise. It'll absolutely be worth all the faffing around, trust me. I hope Space Engineers 2 really does have the tiny grids that I've heard people talking about. I'd really like it if there was an even smaller block size. Something to make tiny things with. Because even a single small grid block is still half a meter cubed, which doesn't look that big with your field of view in the game, but in real life half a meter cubed is quite a large volume of space. Right, that's all them done. So, on 0, 2 and trigger. R01 off. Oh, I'm on the wrong backing page. Damn it, pay attention. Right, on, trigger, off, page 10. Right. Do this. Pow. Right one. Cool. Sound. Not fuck that one up. Leg. Thruster. R0. Right. That's the first one. Now, the next thing I also need to think about is fuel. Because this thing is using a bit of a hybrid thruster system to make all of this work smoothly. So it unfortunately necessitates a certain amount of hydrogen. Also needs to be able to refuel. Right, that's that. We're on number 2, so number 2 can just turn off. So if we trigger that, it goes all the way up to full power. New thruster RR0. So I think I need to put some more hydrogen tanks in this thing. And probably an O2H2 generator at least. Just a question of where to squeeze it. Probably stick it in the bottom half of the body because there's loads of space down there. I can't remember put an O2H2 gen in the other armoured core. Not. But I should probably stick one in there just in case. Let's right. 5. We'll be done with this boring crap soon. That's number 10, and that's off. So 2 on and trigger off 1. Off. That's page 10, so we can trigger that, and it'll take us back down to halfway. Leg thrust RR0. And this will be the last bit of the controls for this thruster on this leg. And then we can do the last leg and then finally incorporate all of these controls into the flight movement system. Would have plenty of space in there for more lights. So far, the movement system is mostly just a bunch of timer blocks being triggered by thrusters, and those timer blocks contain mostly sequences of lights. Which again is so much easier to think about than all the complicated nonsense of trying to do all these timer blocks with all these individual blocks. Just set up a bunch of basic controls beforehand and then use all of them to activate and deactivate things as needed. Right, so that's the last one of 02. Push the 02 off, can switch itself off. So that triggered, turn all of that off. Turn that on, trigger. That's it. Full power, cool. Turn that on, trigger it. The thruster controller is already set up, so that light there turns on the thruster, turns it off. That light there moves the thruster. Groovy, right. One more leg. One more leg. So we've got leg thruster control for the fourth and final time. Leg thruster rotor RL08 light. There it is. Leg thrust RL0. Reverse, 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 reverse. Rotor light on and off. Rotor light. There we go. Thruster control. Leg thruster RL01A light. Leg thruster RL0. Then we're gonna have first things first. This one. I've done it that way around all the others. I'm actually about it. On, off, then on, off, trigger, off, on, alternate trigger. Right, the last of this boring crap. Leg thrust RL0. Definitely RL0, we're not screwing anything up like we did with the other one. Right, so once this is done, we will have a lot of sets of subgrid thrusters on the legs. Finally, after about 45 minutes of boring crap, I'll get to do something interesting. But I didn't get round to doing this stuff last night after yesterday's stream. We got quite late, so unfortunately I'm doing it now. Once this one is done, it is done. We'll hopefully have enough thrust to lift a little bit, maybe? I'm still skeptical. Right, so that's number 1, that's 10. We're doing number 1 on, so number 2 on, trigger 1 off. So via that, we get halfway. Cool. So, leg, thrust, RL0. Thinking with this one, might give it some ridiculous railgun type weapons. I am going to have a quick look though and see how big a large grid artillery cannon is in comparison to this thing, because I've put large grid weapons on small grid things before. It's always fun doing stupid crap like that. Got an Appleseed Mobile Fortress design that I need to come back to. I can't remember whether I put a large grid railgun on that one. I think I did. Or I might have just put a group of small grid ones. But I have put large grid missile rocket launchers on my old Mechagodzilla design I did a year or two ago, which I also need to come back to and try and vanillify. But the internal structure of that thing is very heavily composed mods. Might be a hell of a lot to faffing about to rebuild it. So that's number 2, RL number 2 off. So fire that, takes it up to full power. Cool. Then thrust RL. Right, on the final stretch of this damn thing. So it's 2. Nearly there. It's the last one of them, and then RL off, 0, 2 on, and trigger and turn 0, 1 off. Then we can then fire that, takes us down to half power, and then the last one. Ugh, I'm pressing the wrong button. Only 30 more commands to go, at least. Why is that one disabled? I've missed that somewhere, haven't I? Oh, god damn it. Well, this is one of the good reasons why doing them all individually, because you can see what stuff's doing. Everything else is firing, that one isn't. It tells me I've smegged something up somewhere. There's noticed. Which presumably means in one of the on timers I have missed it. Possibly both of them. That'll be really annoying. Right, that's the end of that. FL01 off, number 2 off. So, what have I specced up over here? Oh, is it the second one I've smagged up? Yes, I have. I've missed that, for God's sake. All the way through. Flag. Thruster RL02. There it is. Yep. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not reordering them, not doing that about a million more times. Right. There we go. Right, so number off, number 2. Trigger. There we go. Cool. Everything has turned itself off. So we turn that on. Trigger it. Turns itself and the other one off. Turn that one off. On. Trigger it. Right. We set that up. So that now controls the thrusters turning on and off. And that controls the rotors moving. Right, and there we go. That is the basics of that. So, we can jump back into our body. We can turn the bloody lights back on so we can see what we're doing. You know what? We might actually move you out of the way. Getting in the way of my third-person camera. There we go. Right, so we've got all of these movement controls, all of these different directions. We need to think about what positions we want our thrusters to be in when our legs are in different positions, and which ones we want to fire and when. When we go forward, all of those leg lights can stay on in that position, or at least the rear ones can. Let's put the rotor lights on the toolbar so we can see what we're doing. So we need 1, that's front left, that's front right, that's rear left, and that's rear right. So we can play with them from here. So we're in the forward position. Yeah, I'd like them to be like that. Right, so forward. That that's going to be one of our default positions. So we want leg, thrust, rotor, lights now. Pages and pages of just lights being turned on and off, as I mentioned before. It's all that leg move, all that limb control, subgrid thruster, all of that is literally just lights being turned on and off. Ooh, and I'm actually starting to run out of space, and I'm going to have to start condensing this stuff down a bit. So, in the default position, we want all of these switched on. And we want the... I should name them differently. We want all the thrusters off. The moment, anyway. And then in forward mode, leg, rotor, light. We want the two front ones to turn off. We want the two rear ones to stay on. And then we want all of them to fire. So now, when we push forwards, see all those thrusters kick in. Ooh, power drain. Is that because I'm not outputting enough power? Inventory. Very low. Current output, quite a lot. Has it got anything to do with all those O2, H2 generators that are currently doing stuff? Nope, they're all switched off. I just genuinely don't have enough power for all of these thrusters now. You can see there, those thrusters kicking in, giving us a bit of forward and upwards lift at the same time. The idea with them, we're going to do the opposite with reverse mode. Light, reverse, leg, thrust, rotor, light. So for reverse mode we want the front ones to stay where they are. We want the rear ones to switch position. And then we want all of them to fire. So first one, front right, rear left, rear right. So now we fly backwards. Yeah. We need considerably more power. Because apparently those two big batteries and big reactor aren't enough. I have slapped quite a few thrusters on here, so that is not surprising. So what are we going to do about that then? We could build well, for a start, let's just test power issues. Oh, secondly, that will be confusing the matter. Because there's extra power consumption there, or output. So it's going to be even worse now, isn't it? Yeah, we're on 60. Right, cool. Okay, 2 large batteries and a large reactor ain't enough. Probably because of all the extra mass. Because you have only got... Oh, you've got 2 extra little ones backing you up. And you've got 2 large batteries. You have an O2 H2 gen. No, you don't. Not unless I've hidden it. No, I didn't equip one in here. Let's delete a bunch of this crap. Right, so power is a problem. Oh yeah, I was going to do a bit of redesign down here too. So I wanted to try and cover that over and also find a better place to put control thrusters for walk mode. That's all they were. Now, oh, what the fuck have I just deleted? Bloody build mode, what have you just looked through and what have you just deleted? Oh, I've just deleted that connector there. That's okay, I can live with that. If you deleted one of the programming blocks, I'd have screamed. Just double check. Yeah, the only thing I've deleted there by mistake is that block. Sometimes build vision or build mode or whatever, I think it's just the base game, will look through blocks and delete the thing behind it. That's what I was trying to do, not delete that. There we go, that one. So, right, the idea I actually wanted to start trying was... That will absolutely conflict. That is fairly close. That is exposed. You know what, let's actually delete that again on purpose. Flick it that way around so you can't see the thing. Do that. So the next one would have to be that. Yeah. So. Yeah, so something kind of like that. And I could kind of hide this join a little bit and protect it a little bit. I will need to back on that. Nicer. That gap there would be part of the pointy block. Yep. Why have I taken mirror mode off? That's kind of covered a little bit. Now, that ain't gonna conflict with anything when it turns, is it? No. Cool. Yeah, it's got plenty of space. No scrubbing. And I can do that. Cover it up even more. Then we would need the next section of the pointy block, the corner. There you go, that's nice and covered up. And then we can use this horrible blocky looking thing as the basis for filling out the bottom of the map a little bit. Oh. Leave that kind of shape there. What's it like when I turn that now? Still completely clear. That's so what if do something really basic like that thing? Something like that. On the back of the map, I'm not looking at the right side. There we go. So what did we have from here then? Could continue that shape down from there. A little bit more. have this gap in here as some kind of space for more batteries, maybe. Oh, actually, no. I want to try and avoid adding unnecessary weight to the top half. Try and get more weight in the bottom half. Yeah, that's right for now. And then we could do that. And oh yeah, that's an issue though, isn't it? Because realistically, we want that. Wanted that covered, it'd have to be like that to avoid clicking and clanging with anything, which means that sticks out like a sore thumb. No, we might actually just do this idea that we had before. Well, again, tiny cat. Then we've got this back section. Ooh, that could be like that. Oh, look how beautifully that marries up. Almost like it was meant to be. Then we can use that space down here for something, and that space over here for something. And then that's a little bit more armoured. And that rotor's a little bit more concealed. There's even the potential to drop it down a little bit. Make it 5. How does that look when we spin it? It's not going to start clanging, scraping, making horrible noises. Oop, where are we? Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll end up using that space for something. I can probably... Ooh! I could try and make a little box to tuck all the control thrusters in for the warp mode, because I'm going to have to rebuild them all now anyway. Might even be able to adapt some of this space into more thrusters maybe later on, because we will need more of them. I do have a lot of space now, but most of it does need to be for these rotors to move. Big reactor there. Right, I will think about where I'm going to put this other reactor, or this other power, in a moment. After I've had a quick break for few minutes, as I need to quickly hit the toilet. So I'll be back in a second. Don't go anywhere. And I'm back. Hello, Maz. This is some SE dedication. Yeah, man, I am pretty dedicated to doing some ridiculous things in this game. To be honest, ridiculous things is all I do in this game. I don't really play it properly, or the way most people play it, like survival, crafting, space game type thing. I mostly just build ridiculous robots because I don't really know of any other game that I can do things like this in to this extent. And the second that I discovered that you can do things like this in Space Engineers, playing it normally went straight out the window. I think it was the first time I saw one of Black Armor's videos. I think it was one of his... I think it was one of his Voltron, or... It was one of his, like, 80s, 90s cartoon mech things that I saw. And then I went, holy shit, you can build robots in this game. I will just start doing that instead. But yeah, this thing's doing pretty well at the moment. I'm just trying to figure out how to squeeze some more power into it, because it's got a heck of a lot of subgrid thrusters built into it, in lots of places. And currently I'm designing some flight movement controls. That are operated by... Oh really, is that dusting off that thruster now? Oh, it's because of the position of the torso, that's why. Ah, smeg, I didn't realise that. I might have to raise the body back up again. It's dusting off things. Because I made the top half of the torso a separate grid that can move around. But, yeah, I'm just building some... Oh, hello, Thornmore. Do you play it normally with every mod under the sun? Yeah, I've got quite a few mods that I like playing with. This one is actually almost entirely modless. The only mod in this mech, or that this mech uses, is a rotor strength mod that's that I got off Mod.io, which seems to be the only rotor strength mod I've encountered which doesn't make things explode or implode in certain circumstances. But some of my other builds use smeg loads of mods. All of my Ghost in the Shell Spider mechs use a lot of the plane parts mods. mod parts, because I've never used the aerodynamics mod in Space Engineers, but the plane part mod that's supposed to accompany it has got some really cool parts in it. Like some really good tiny little wheels that are great for building mechs with. But in this one, I'm going on a bit of a vanilla vendetta. But yeah, I mostly just like rebuilding stuff, making replicas of things. I've got a few replica ships, but I don't find building spaceships as interesting as building robots. Whenever I build a spaceship, I end up trying to force ways of putting moving parts into them, because ultimately I really just want to build a robot. Because I like building things with moving parts. So, back to the problem at hand. This thing ain't generating enough power anymore with one single large small grid reactor and 2 large small grid batteries. Just ain't enough. So we need to rethink some stuff. Think about some places I could maybe squeeze some more batteries. Robot spaceships. Yeah, I've built a few robot spaceships. I really want to get around to building the Outlaw Star at some point, because that's basically a robot ship. It's a giant spaceship with massive robot arms. I have also got a like half-built Bebop. Oh yeah, that's, in fact I've got a couple of them. That's the old version. That's the newer version that will scream bloody murder. Oh, it's also got loads of blocks that aren't in this save file. But don't crash my game. Are you going to load it at all? You're just going to freak out because I haven't got any of the right mods in here. No, I think it's having a fit because I haven't got the right mods, but there are videos of it on this YouTube channel if you want to have a look at that Bebop design. I've also got a few swordfishes and a few other ships, but it's mostly robots. And bits and pieces of robots. So I need to squeeze more battery power into here, or more reactor power. What would it look like if I slapped another large reactor right here? Would it look completely stupid? Yeah. If I find the right place. Oh no, I can't cut a hole there because that's where all those gyroscopes are attached to. That is a 3-block space. And I need somewhere for those gyros to live, and I don't really feel like deleting that, so that's not a good idea. And it probably look equally crap if I try to shove it in the back. For a start, it would have to be a block back, so that's got room to move. So it'd have to sit somewhere like that. I mean, that's not but it's also a whole bunch of extra weight on the top half that I don't want right now. Oh, actually, I could give it a big fat arse with a reactor stashed in the back. Let's just do something like that for now. So I don't want to cut this down yet. I do need the space here. So, large reactor, where were you? There you are. You're only 3 blocks wide. Oh yeah, while we're on the subject, can we please, for the love of God, get a small grid version of these pipes? Because they look cool, and they would look so good on some small grid industrial designs. Oh, sorry, Thornmore, I didn't see your messages there. What, you had blueprints for ships that were cool, but... Yeah, I've noticed that sometimes. I think it might be to do with the size of the blueprint or the mods that are involved, because this save file is a fairly vanilla one. It's only got build vision and a rotor strength mod in it, whereas the Bebop, that design, has got in loads of mods in it, and it's 28 megabytes by itself. And it is 36,000 blocks. Doing something. Don't know what it's doing. It's having a shit fit. Yeah. I think it's because it's missing loads of mods. Because it's got all sorts on that Bebop. It's got like the mechanical expansion mod and a whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah, I've had a few blueprints that I have just built too excessively, and then when I've tried to spawn them in to a game or whatever, they've just gone naff, get bent. I'm actually kind of worried that might happen with the War Master that I'm building at the minute, because it's getting so big that it's really lagging the game out, and it's only half finished. I've not even done half the things I want to do with that. There's a chance I might have to redo that War Master and make it a bit smaller. I might even try and do a small grid version of it, like block for block in scale as much as I can, but that is a project for later. For now, we are still trying to figure out this power issue here. Yeah, I've noticed things like that myself, or more with like renaming things. Also, just like cutting, pasting, and respawning things in sometimes can fix problems. I think Space Engineers, like behind the scenes, has a lot of similar problems to say like Bethesda games and stuff. There's just so many little scripts and things running in the background calculating all of the various stuff that's going on that sometimes the whole system just breaks and goes, nah, fuck off, I'm not doing any of it, I can't be arsed. You're asking me to do too much. Because I've had issues occasionally with like really complex builds with like the automation blocks, like event controllers and turret controllers doing absolutely nothing, not responding in the slightest, even though they are on, everything is set up properly. and they should, by all rights, work. Occasionally I've had a bug where they just don't do anything, and the only way to resolve it is just delete the block, replace it, rebuild it, and it works fine again. But it's just space engineers being space engineers. If I stick a reactor there, that is nowhere near enough room to get in conveyor port. Or is it? No, because a conveyor port would scrub against the bottom of that rotor. So, if I took that line out and put a conveyor connector there, and then another one there, that should be enough room for it to not scrub. Bung that there. You can build up some armour around the back of it. And that has got plenty of room to spin, and it's not going to conflict with any of that. The only issue then is I need to pipe it in. What's that block there doing? Nothing important. Fantastic. No, not that one. That one. Yeah, full more save and reload occasionally. I think it's again the same thing. There's just so much stuff going on, it gets confused, has a shit bit, refuses to do anything else, and then a quick save and load will just refresh everything from scratch, and then it'll decide to play ball again. We need to get into there. That connects everything. Where are we? What angle are we on? There we are. Bung that there. That can go there. That can go there. Just do a line of them up there, and everything goes green. Fantastic. That's connected. It's got some uranium in it. What is our power situation like now? Oof. Just. Yeah, and if we try to do anything complex, it's still freaking out. So, 2 large reactors. I say large. This small grid thing is so big now that a large reactor actually looks kind of tiny on it. Right, so realistically, I need 2 more large grid reactors, because I intend to put more thrusters on this thing. No. Perhaps for now cut that Smeggin thing off, because it doesn't actually need to be there. That was a temporary idea. What else could we do? I need to get hydrogen storage in here properly. I've got some temporary stuff there, but still not super happy with that. And I need to get 2 more reactors in here. You know what? Let's redesign some of this undercarriage. Yeah, because we can do something like that. Like that. Then we can bring this down a couple of blocks. Yeah, till it's in line with that. And then we could bring it back in the other direction. Then that across there do the opposite thing on this side. Spin that, delete that, do that. So then we've got a bit of a taper going down there then. Then we could potentially do something rather different. Stick something like that there. Do that. Do that. That's got plenty of space to move. That might be a bit close. Next one up. Actually need to be there. It'd just be from here onwards that we need coverage to cover that gap. Outside. Yeah. Delete that, delete that. Make them the same. Oop. Wrong block. Something like that for now. Ultimately, we are going to need to get 2 more large grid reactors in here. Large grid reactor is 3 blocks wide. 3 blocks. So it'd want to be like that. About that. And that ain't gonna conflict with that rotor. That it spins. Nah, cool. Right, so we can kind of do something like that, and then we could... Yeah, we can cover it up. Yeah, that'll work. So let's get rid of that. Let's change that to a T-block. And then we can just bung a reactor on there and on. And that will be fine. Cool. Right, that one on the back, that can go. I don't think that one's actually necessary. But at the end of the day, none of this is really necessary. We're not going all the way back there. Leave that one in place. Take that out. Take that out. Almost certainly going to need gyroscopes. We've got plenty of space left in there. Right, so that's got 2 extra reactors. What's that like power-wise? Bloody hell. 85? Really? All those reactors are... Yep, they've all got fuel. Current output 4 megawatts. Maybe I could do with putting some more batteries in here as well. Yeah, I think the power output would be adequate, but batteries. That's something I could stick on its arse. Batteries. Do like a little battery pack module or something. Perhaps. Why is the connection point for batteries in such a stupid place? Hang on. Because that actually kind of tucks nicely into that established shape there. And we could figure something else, figure out something to cover it up. So, with 2 extra batteries, slightly more reasonable on power, but still fucking excessive. But we've also got quite a lot. There's no reason on there, is there? Yeah, that isn't too bad. Oh, well then, yeah, quite nice. Right. Oh, wait. Right, quick save. What happens when I... Oh, because it's on a separate grid, I can't do anything like that, can I? What happens when I... Where the hell have I called that one? I can't see it from here. Oh, it's a magnetic plate, that's why I'm landing gear. Alright, well... Oh, it's using that much power because I was pinned to the floor like an idiot, that's why. Well, there you go. It's got... Hopefully it's going to sink because of all the subgrids, but... It's got enough thruster power to move about at the moment. Definitely needs more left and right. But it can move forward. And it can move backward. There you go. Little bit of test flying. Definitely need some more gyro control though, I can barely move then. Actually, hang on. Oh yeah, I've just deleted all the turn controls, so it's not going to do anything. But yeah, definitely need more gyro control. There you go, can fly. Even with all the extra weight of that nonsense on the back. So in fact, those reactive stuff might be alright where they are. Decorate the battery or something like that, I suppose. We've got blocks. Or beam blocks. Beam blocks down the middle. Not an entirely good place. Steal some of that armor quality here. We put that out there. Put that in. We could also extend back end of this, so not like that. That looks cool. Something like that. Take that out. Like that there. That. Like that. Oh, stop dusting off stuff, I'm trying to work. And then that gap would need not that one. That one. Maybe overcomplicating it. What if I just use a bit of armour plating? Because I quite like having a bit of exposed stuff and then some armour plating covering it. So that maybe. No. We've done on this one. No, it's all half blocks mostly, isn't it? Yeah. Actually, mostly half blocks because I changed the design in the end because I put more thrusters in. I like that actually. That That'll do, I reckon. It'll do for now. We can always change our mind later. 80% for now. Some shapes in, so I've got a rough idea. I'm working with. That'll do for now. Right, so I did another mod, Edge Be Gone. Yeah, Edge Be Gone is great. Oh my god, I could go on forever about how much I absolutely hate the block edges. Absolutely hate them so much. Like, they drive me so mad. It always used to wind me up when I played this game on my Xbox years ago, and I didn't have access to that kind of mod, or maybe there just wasn't a mod like that on Xbox at the time, I don't know. But those block edges drove me so crazy, I hated them so much. And then when I bought a gaming PC a few years ago, one of the very first mods I downloaded along with Build Vision and Build Info was Edge Be Gone. Because look how nice and how pretty and smooth and nice all the shapes are without those hideous fucking edges. Because even on the edgeless armour, the weldless armour, you still get block edges on it, because all the collisions and connections aren't all quite perfectly set up. So even with the supposedly edgeless armour skin, you'd still get that in vanilla games. So yeah, Edge Be Gone is another just bog standard, like, it always goes into my games, regardless. Like, it's a purely cosmetic mod, and it doesn't actually affect any of the, like, doesn't add any blocks or anything like that, so I always have it on. And I always, yeah, I just always use it. And I always drop it into the requirements for my mech blueprints on Steam, because without it, they just look crap. Right, so we've got plenty more reactor power, we've got plenty more battery power. Got a whole bunch of thrusters and shit tonight. Oh yeah, we need more left and right thrusters. That was a serious problem. Got a little bit of space here. Arms might get in the way, but there's only one way to find out. Stick. No, I couldn't. Damn. Oh yeah, and I wanted that for the. Oh shit! I actually need to replace that, don't I? Got about that. That would have to be left and right. like the hinges, mirror mode doesn't work properly with these thrusters. That would be left and right control. That could be reverse control. And I could tuck the forward control into there. Build around it. But I still have the issue of sideways thrust. Need more of it. I could perhaps add a set of thrusters here and here. Quickly, I need to rename some stuff. Heating got turned off. These are the thrusters for the walk mode. These are the ones that control its walk mode settings. I have to delete them to make space, although I never really intended for them to sit there. A temporary thing more than anything else. Got left and right control. Confusing. And that one needs to have a little bit of thrust override, just to be turned off. Roll. Copy settings, copy all. OBR, and that can have a little bit different rev control. Forward control override. Oh yeah, I only need forward, backward, left and right. Right, so that's fine. Right, so let's leave a few bits of crap. Let's do a bit of testing. Got so far. Thrusters are kind of supporting its weight alright. So, up we go. Yeah, it definitely needs a bit more gyro control. But it can support its own weight. It can fly forward and backward. It can fly up and down. Oh shit, that battery pack on the back, that's what's causing all that dusting. That's why I was leaving that blank. I might have to move the battery pack then, because that's just going to dust constantly. But yeah, it definitely needs more left and right. Forward and backward are fine. Left and right are a bit trickier. And it needs more thruster control. Right, so battery pack needs to go. It's dusting, yeah, that's what's doing all that bollocks. Right, so smeg that idea then. That's not going to work. We need to keep that space at the back free for the thrusters. Let's put it back where it was. Just a little bit. Yeah, right. Okay. Then we're going to need possibly some more batteries. Actually, I might be able to squeeze a battery onto the end of either of these reactors. That's a battery. One on there. That is quite close. So that would be when it spins. See clangs. That does actually need a bit of space. Ugh, that's going to scrub on that battery now, isn't it? Yeah, look at it scrub. Damn. What if I split the difference? It's just scrubbing on both of them now. Bollocks. Well, take that out, take that out. moving it too quickly. What it'd be like if I built the battery like that, it would stick out way too much. Oh, and it'd stick out way too much anyway. Oh, from there, because I end up covering up all that. What about... Officers do that. Yep, thought so. There's already a battery there. So, what if we took another battery in front of it? We can do something like that. With that back the way it was. Just flat on the front for now. Yeah. What if we... What if we do that? Won't cover it fully. Leave all that for now. Alright, there we go, extra battery. Yeah, I don't want to risk trying to tuck another one in there. It's already dusty enough. Just cover the back of that. Just leave that as it is. So, maybe back a bit like that. Need that in there to cover that. And space for that rotor to be able to move. The issue, so that can do that for now. That'll be alright, probably. Hopefully. That can get deleted. That can get deleted. with all the walk mode stuff that I set up, I need to make a flight mode point. So I make any flight mode stuff. I did. I'll just set up a flight mode on. Just never bothered me. So if I want to turn all this stuff off, first things first, to turn off. All of the flight controls, so forward. Left. Right. Up. Down. Not turn all that off. And then I would have a hell of a lot of thrusters to turn off. So, flight thrusters, turn all of them off next. Actually, let's move all of them to the next page. Turn off, turn off, turn off. No, think about it, Forward. Right, up, down. Then flight thrusters, which control all the movements, they definitely need to turn off. We'd have forward. Left, right, up, down, thrusters off. Now turn off all the hydrogen. In theory. Then we've got a buttload of thrusters that would all need to be switched off. And that would be painful. So to name them all. Oh, they've all been named. It's just these ones here, isn't it, that I haven't named. Oh, settings, copy up. So that would be L02 03 L04. Would I be able to change them to left and right actually, without it dusting? That's something I'll experiment with later. not far off 3 hours, so I'm gonna wind the stream up in about 20 minutes maybe. 02. 3. Oh, damn it. 4. We've already got lots of first ones, so we've got 1, 2, 3. 2, 2, 2. And these would be 4, 5, and 6. Before that would be 5. That would be reverse number 6. We've got those ones there. Maybe up thruster. 0, 2, E. And 4. Two and 3 and 4. Got a feeling I've got so many thrusters that need turning on and off. May need another set of timers. So thruster. All the flight thrusters. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23. $60, 70, 73 thrusters. Yeah, that's a bit much. So that's gonna. Oh, what have I just done? So I'm gonna need a thrusters on and a thrusters off timer. Those are some spare timers, aren't doing anything. the thrusters on. That can be thrusters off. Thrusters. Thrusters. Oh, see you soon then, Bournemouth. Have fun, man. Enjoy starting from scratch. And thanks for dropping in and having a watch and having a chat. So, thrusters on. We're having them all separately controlled because they are control thrusters rather than general use ones. So, first things first, we'll do the foot thrusters, turn them all on. And then we'll have all the leg thrusters turn on. All these in groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, two. Yeah, you know what, we're actually going to just get super compact about this, because there's 73 of them and we're probably going to add more. So, in fact, let's do the jetpack and the foot first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3. Oh shit. RL03, RL04, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That worked out nicely. So that's the feet, the jetpack, and the leg thrusters. And it's all the generic ones after that. Everything that's just a thruster after that. With this stuff down here at the bottom. That's all legs, that's all jets. Oh yeah, I can just do it by category, can't I? Forward. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and the other two are walk thrusters, ignore them, forward. reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then that's the warp thruster. We've got many at all, it's only got 4 small ones. Yeah, that's a problem. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh dear, we are running out of space. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Then again, we don't need any down ones because we're atmospheric and I don't intend to fly this thing upside down, so that should be alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. That'll turn all the thrusters on. We started with the foot, the leg, and then the jetpack. Off, 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 off. L. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I've got something up somewhere. Oh, that's why I've done it wrong. But jetpack, then start doing the legs. Dumbass. But that's why it wasn't making sense. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Five, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What have I missed out? Oh, you fucking idiot. You've done. Leg thrust. FL. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I've done 1, 2, FR. 1, 2, FR again. Dumbass. Just thrown everything else out. FR 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. RL. 1, 2, 3, 5. And 6, and then RR. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's why it wasn't matching up properly. Cool, so after that we do forward thrusters. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are walk thrusters. 8. Forward, reverse, forward, reverse, thrust, reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Left is only 4 of them for now, which we need to rectify. The same problem with the right hand side. Now we've got a whole bunch of up thrusters. 7 and 8. Right, so add them into the flight mode on and off functions. So after all of those thrusters have been turned off, we can turn that lock on just in case anything else has happened and trigger it. And that, when we trigger it, should turn everything off. And now it can't move or do anything. Everything is switched off. Ruby. Cool. Right, so flight mode. We want to turn it all back on again. First thing we want to do is turn on all. Oh yeah, we want to think about this again. Forward, backwards, left, right, up, down. Then our flight control thrusters, we'll activate them separately. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we want thrusters on to turn on and trigger. Or if we have those controls on our hotbar, now we can turn on all the thrusters and all of the thruster control and all the stuff that does things. And if we turn it off again, it all turns off and we can't do anything. Cool, so now tie these two into our flight mode controller, which will be lock switched on and off, and it'll be controlled by that sign turning on and off. Flight mode on will be on, off, and triggered when it turns on. Flight mode off will be off, on, and triggered when it turns off. That needs left to fit in with my system. So now that sign down there, we can stick it in here, turn it on and off, and then this timer then becomes a button to turn that on and off. Cool. Right. Let's create a failsafe so we can't activate both modes at once and have all kinds of controllers trying to conflict with each other. When flight mode on turns on, why we leave the space at the beginning, page number 1, so we can turn things off, the flight mode off button will turn off. And when flight mode turns off again, I've just selected the wrong thing because I'm an idiot, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, I shouldn't have. Walk mode on and off can turn back on again. We'll do the same with walk mode. We select the flight mode on and off button. Dear, what's all that? What are those things? Oh, it looks like I've got some stuff that needs oh, it's the thrusters. That's fine. I can replace them easily enough. Delete them. Right, anyway, like I was saying, if we do that, turn that off, and flight mode activates. In fact, walk. Not on. Not on. Walk, reverse, turn that on, and the rest of it's turn. Turn thrusters on, and on. Walk mode off. Light mode on off button. Yeah, flight mode can turn that on again out there. And then we need the walk forward thrusters back on, or back off rather. The rev thruster can get turned back off. And the turn thrusters can get turned back off. Need to redo some of these walk controls. Control thruster. Reverse control thruster. Turn left. Control thruster. And turn right. Control thruster. Right, cool. So, we're flying, we're doing stuff. Flying through the air like the snowman. And then we get bored of that, and then we will land. So... we can get rid of them. We can have walk mode, we can have flight mode. And while we're in flight mode... Oop, that was the wrong button. Yeah, so while we're in flight mode, we can apparently turn walk mode on. That's not good. Why is that? Flight mode on. Walk mode off. Oh, it's because I'm not actually turned the button on. So, okay, we can deactivate flight mode. That turns everything off. Nothing is doing anything, as it shouldn't be. Right, turn walk mode back on. We can do the walking. Oh yeah, I need to reset the I need to set the arms and legs up to reset when flight mode is deactivated. But the hands are still currently doing that. But yeah, there we go. And we can't accidentally trigger flight mode while walk mode is on. Turn walk mode off. Turn flight mode on. And then we can go flying. So, flight mode off. After we've done all that, we need our arm lights to return to default positions, which is everything switched on. That also includes hands and fingers. And we've got leg lights. Yeah, so they just need to be in the position they're in now, which will be fine. So, we'll do the hip lights first. They're all going to be switched off, because I want them all to stick out like they are now. They can all get switched off. And then it must be leg lights proper after that, so FL. We want that to be switched off and on and off. Yeah. Then FR, we want off and on and off. And RL, we want off, on, off. Crap. Off, on, off. And R, we want off and on and off. And so if we turn flight mode off, the hands will return to normal default positions. And if we activate walk mode, the legs fold out. Ooh, you know what, actually. Walk mode on. I want... Where are they? I don't think we've set any up for them, have we? No, we haven't. Okie doke. Arm lights. Set up some defaults for these, so they're all going to be on, and on. And on, and on, and on, and that could be a failsafe for them. Hand lights. They can get switched off because I want the hands to turn out. Oh. So when I activate walk mode, yeah, the hands turn out. It gives them a bit more space. On that side, closer. 60 and 30. 30. 20 and 10. And 10. Why that gap was big? Yeah, I built something wrong. $65. Why is the gap between that arm and the hinge nose? Oh, it's because of the twist of the body. Again, keep forgetting that torso is a separate grid. That needs more gyros. Yeah, that's why it was confusing me. Okie doke, right. So, that's been about 3 hours now, so let's do one last quick little test of this thing before we call it a day. And I go get something to eat. Right. So we're in walk mode. We can walk around. Walk forwards. We can turn. I still need to do a bit of tweaking on that. We stop. We reset to that position. We can also walk backwards, just about. We can turn while we're doing that. Kind of just about stay balanced. When we get bored of that, where's the button as well? We can deactivate walk mode and the legs retract. Might have to automate the wheel friction for that. Oh, yeah, that's why. Because when flight mode kicks in, we didn't program any of the arms or legs, did we? No, we didn't. Yeah, so anyway, we'll do that next time. But yeah, when flight mode kicks in, I'm going to set it up that the arms raise up. There you go, we've currently got 31 minutes of flight time, which is probably longer than the hydrogen fuel is going to last, but always add more to both of them. We can stay afloat. It's 275 tons, but it can just about stay afloat. It can move around. Definitely needs more left and right thrust. Yeah, it's pretty good at flying forward and backward. Yeah, look at that speed drop. So yeah, it's pretty good at doing that. All those little subgrid thrusters whipping around really help. Maybe need to angle those ones on the back a bit more. But yeah, there you go. Oh, hello, Lone Wolf. Hello again. What are you saying? You're trying to program your first steps with a bipedal mech. I haven't had much success until now. Oh, you're watching from your Xbox. Yeah, automating stuff is a tricky business, but like I said before, it is a million times easier now with event controllers. It's just a question of setting them up the right way. Yeah, this thing absolutely needs more gyro control. What happens quickly before we bugger off if I turn on my turn system while I'm in the air? Oh, they'll cause problems with left and right, is what'll happen. Oh, but that turning gyro does work quite well in the air. Ooh, maybe I could add the turning mechanism to the left and right hydrogen thrusters, because they're the control thrusters for all this. That works surprisingly well. So I could have left and right turning tied into the left and right flight, because I'm not likely to be trying to do massive amounts of strafing. Or maybe I could have it as a toggle, I'm not sure. I still need more gyro in the top half, but I can use the bottom half to turn pretty successfully. And obviously, yeah, though, having those turn thrusters active will affect my inertial dampening left and right. But it's an idea to play with. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because having those turn thrusters active is having a detrimental effect on my ability to stop moving left and right, because they rely on having overrides. But the overrides on hydrogen don't affect it in the same way. Because I can turn this one off and it makes... Oh no, it does make a difference. No, no, it doesn't. It's just that there's nothing stopping that from firing. Yeah. Up. On. Yeah. Well, that's been fairly successful. Turn that off. Turn walk mode back on. And we can carry on strolling. Bit clanky on the feet because I need to fine tune them a bit. But I might take the friction off those inside wheels altogether and just have them as like support and that, but yeah, for now we'll leave that there. That is a great big walking, flying monstrosity of a mech. We still need to figure out how we're going to cover up this under here. That won't be too difficult. Still need a few more sideways thrusters. And I might swap these for sideways ones instead of forward and back ones, because it can go forward and back pretty damn well with all the big thrusters it's got. It's just left and right that are an issue. Yeah, anyway, we shall do all that kind of stuff next time. So, for now, I'm going to leave this stream here, and I'm going to go get some food because I'm hungry. And I will see you all next time, so cheers to Bournemore and Maz and Lone Wolf and everyone that dropped in to say hello and watch the stream. And I will see you all next time. So goodbye for now.